Lightning cracks the midnight air. I see shadows, but there's no one there. The ground shakes like it's got a soul. I'm a sinner digging out of a hole. I'm the fire you can't contain, the voodoo heat inside your veins. No chains can hold me down. I'm the storm that owns this town. I walk the line where devils tread. Smoke and whispers fill my head. Every step is a rebel's prayer. Every breath burns up the air. You feel me coming, you can't hide. I'm the thunder rolling inside. I'm the fire you can't contain, the voodoo heat inside your veins. No chains can hold me down. I'm the storm that owns this town. Spirits rise when I hit the strings. The walls hum like they've grown wings. Don't you bleed, don't you breathe. I'm the spell you can't believe. Not like that, and be breaking. It's so play. English way.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast, the darkest side of, and thank you. Give me clear your throat, Belle. Let me have another one. Podcast, your home for
my throat.
Podcast, your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We're telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who is losing fortunes. Joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time who did not flip frames, the one, the only, the original, the mighty Belle. How are you doing tonight, Belle? And that is clearly not Bella.
Yeah, no, that wasn't me. That's our guest who we'll introduce in just a minute.
So
I apparently didn't clear my throat loud enough.
Yeah, you didn't quite clear it good enough. So here's one of the things that Bella and I have learned about ourselves through this little journey here is that we are consciously aware that we don't know what we don't know. And when we get to a situation like that, like this right now, where we are, we defer over to the experts. So last week we were out in Las Vegas, Nevada, beautiful Las Vegas at the Small Business Expo, and we ran into a team which you're going to meet here very briefly called RodeoROI. Now, here's the thing about them, guys. They're perfect for us because they don't know Web3. But the thing that makes them perfect for us is that Sigea Cloud is not a Web3 application. We have a Web3 stack, but we're Web2 facing. And when we met them, shook hands, talked a little bit, talked with them a little bit and said, look, how could you help us? They told us. And now they're going to be here to tell you. One of the big things in Web3, and it's been kicking the ass out of here in Web3, is the fact that we try to live inside of our own little bubbles. And this applies to people who do not need to live in those bubbles. We don't need. Sigea does not need to live in that bubble. Dragon does not need to live in that bubble, and Reach certainly does not need to live in that bubble. So we just went out and found experts that are going to get us out of that bubble. And we're going to bring one of those experts on right now. Zach, do I got you, sir? Are you ready to chat?
I am.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
I'm going to put you big screen, bro. Tell us all about yourself. This is your show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us, like I said. So I am the VP of Sales here at RodeoROI. We're a relatively new company, not an experience though. So we were founded about 2 years ago by a gentleman named Randy Ordonez. He's the whiz kid when it comes to all things SEO, lives and breathes it. Leslie and I are now partners and co-founders with the company as well. But really everything that we do is based off of 15 years of experience with anything digital marketing and SEO. So, all the classics, right? Social media. How do I get on the first page of Google? How are people finding me through local searches? What do I do to keep my database engaged from an email marketing standpoint? Does my website look pretty enough? Is it functional, right? These are all things that we specialize in, particularly for our clients, anyone from small to medium-sized business with enterprise applications as well. But the real focus for our team is to be a true one-stop shop in-house here in Austin, Texas, that doesn't outsource anything, that does the hard work to get you results, and making sure that we give our clients time back in their day, because nobody gets into business to become an SEO expert unless they're an SEO company like us. But that's a little bit about us.
And that's what why you resonated with us so well right there. A couple things. One, we want to grow with you. We want to grow with you. We're for our particular application, and we're one of your clients now. I'm sure you're at least a little bit familiar with what we're doing. We want to grow with you. We don't want to go to a big powerhouse, well established, where we are simply just another number. We're not interested in that, because we are going up against the powerhouses. So we're looking for fresh takes, people who have experience but are still hungry for it, if that makes sense for you. That's why we signed up day one with you. I mean, right there we said, yep, let's sit down, let's get this done. So with that, explain a little bit about SEO. I know it's search engine optimization, and I understand everybody knows everything about it, but it turns out that they don't. And I'm really, really hoping that you do. So why don't you explain that just a little bit? Kind of top level. You know what? It's your show, bro. Get as deep as you want to get with it. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that obviously go into it. It's actually amazing to take a step back and really realize how long SEO has been around. It's been decades now. And, obviously a lot of things changes. So one of the things that we're particularly good at staying on top of is anytime Google comes out with an update, which is typically quarterly, right? And doing the right types of things to keep people's traffic. We always have this saying, we say it 100 times a day in the office, and we want people's traffic up and to the right. Right? You want more people coming, and then the value of those people coming, so that you know that you're getting a return. But where a lot of people get stuck is, well, how do I do that? So from kind of a higher level, there's a couple of important things that I always like to cover with any potential client or anybody that I'm just talking shop with SEO. Obviously, link building is one of the biggest and best parts of any SEO strategy, specifically organic SEO. And it's a lot like social media, the way that I like to explain it, in terms of linking to other companies, websites specifically, and then how credible that actual website is, and how much traffic that actual website gets, and then whether or not they'll refer you back in the form of a referring domain, right? So once you make that connection, the more of those that you make over time, then search engines, I mean, we really use Google interchangeably because it is the biggest search engines. But things like Bing and Yahoo, they do matter. And then now, particularly, your Chat GPTs, AI overviews in general on Google Copilot, Gemini, you name it, right? They're also looking for different types of citations and links and how credible your actual website is. If you think about it from a performance standpoint, Google would never want to surface a website that they're deeming credible because you're their audience in the beginning, and then you get there, nobody ever goes to that website, and the information isn't quote unquote fact checked by anything, and you're not linked to any other website. The real question becomes like, how credible is this actual source? So in short, the more times that you can do that with more companies, websites, other publications, the more credible you would be deemed in a site like Google's eyes. So that's kind of the gist of link building, right? You want to connect to a website through a link through your blog, for example. And then ideally, which we're really good at, is having that company recognize that connection and actually refer back to your actual domain and build a relationship. And you can do that when you're, young as a company, your website's very, very new. The more aggressive you want to get with that, the better, because the more companies that you can connect to, you're kind of like guilty by association in the most positive way. Right? It's like, oh, this website just popped up. It's like, oh, why is this company with a super high domain rating referring back to them? They must be good as well. So that's kind of the gist of link building in the terms that I like to talk about it. Now, obviously, the other big part of it that most people are familiar with, that we live and breathe every single day, is the things that we're typing into Google, right? The things that we're typing into a search engine, which are classified as organic keywords or just keywords in general. Now, for a SEO strategy specifically, you do want to focus on keywords. We are businesses at the end of the day, so anything that is commercial in intent, but really anything that's transactional intent, right? You have keywords that are centric around near me is a very obvious and popular one. People need a service right now, or anything related to urgency, so emergency or now, things like that, and focusing on those types of keywords. And when you have a developer like us who's running your SEO and focusing on link building and actually tracking your keywords and having you rank for them, what we like to do with clients on a monthly basis is like, hey, let's see like literally where your traffic is coming from, right? What are people searching, down to how many hundreds of people are searching this specific term every single month, and how many of those people are you actually capturing organically and going to your website, which in turn proves an ROI for our client, hence the name of our company, RodeoROI.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to cut you off or anything like that, but I'm gonna roll into something here a little bit. It just occurred to me, brother. If you're not comfortable at answering this question, please don't. But I find that I don't use Google anymore. I go straight to Grok. I go straight to AI. Honestly, my default is Grok. Are you familiar with AI? Because it seems like in the business that you guys are in, I'm sure you understand how these AI are generating web traffic. Please tell me that you got it, so that if somebody goes into Grok and says, "How do I, share a large file?" Sigea Cloud pops up. Please.
So Grok is not one that we are targeting currently, but the five that we decided to start with that we are currently practicing with are AI overviews on Google, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Copilot. And we rank those through AI citations through a tool that we have called Rodeo Reach, which is just something that we have. That's what we named it. But basically just getting you indexed on a bunch of different search sites and directories, more importantly, where it's the exact same information, effectively copy and pasted over those, right? So there is still the majority of traffic from our world that does come from search sites such as Google, or even utilizing those AI platforms like, Siri, for example, Alexa, right? That both of which run off of Bing, and using searches in that manner with, voice to search, if you will. That is still a piece of the puzzle. And to your point, Scott, like even as a company, we know, like my personal feelings even aside, that is the gravitation we're facing. Like that will eventually become more predominant search, but it's just not quite there yet. But it's, I mean, I do it. I say hey Siri all the time. I ask ChatGPT things all the time. And what's interesting is something that I've done a couple of times over the last couple of weeks too, is I've actually gone to ChatGPT after Google because I was not satisfied with the results. And so like even I myself find doing so. Yes, we are incorporating and exploring avenues and putting that into our strategy as well, starting with those five in particular. And because yes, to your point, that's where it's going.
I think that the trend is going that direction. Like I said, I don't base everything off from, social whatever, because what the hell do I know? I'm 54 years old, bro. I am not tuned in to what the kids are doing. But I do know that more often than not, I will simply go to Grok and ask Grok, because I'm on Twitter all the time. I have to be. I don't choose to be, but I have to be, the kind of business that we're in. So I will defer to Grok 90% of the time. I know ChatGPT is like the holy grail. Grok's picking up, so that was it. That was just my from my curiosity standpoint. I love that answer, by the way. I absolutely. Belle, did you like that answer? Did you like that one? Because that's
Of course I did.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we've got another guest that can give her thoughts as well, as long as the baby is behaving.
And Leslie, do we got you?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Did you hear the conversation Zach and I were having?
Yes, about AI.
Yeah.
So you guys have talked about Grok and ChatGPT. I personally prefer Gemini. That's actually what I use on a daily basis. But I don't really, I guess in terms of like question wise, what would your question be for me on like what my thoughts are on AI?
Well, my question before we go any further is we just had a little bit of breach in protocol. Who are you? What do you do? Tell us about yourself, and let's go ahead and start there.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm Leslie Willis. I am the director of fulfillment at RodeoROI. I've been here for over a year now, and so I was there in its infancy when it was just a handful of people grinding. So, and yes, like Bella had mentioned, the baby's behaving. I am a mother of an 18-month-old, so sorry ahead of time if you hear him screaming in the background. But I'm director of fulfillment, and so essentially what I do is I make sure that everything that we promised you guys gets fulfilled. So, website building. All of the SEO work, so the backlinks that we've talked about, making sure that we're targeting the right keywords. If you guys are doing social media marketing through us, I make sure that is being handled and that it is scheduled. And so that's essentially my role at RodeoROI, is making sure that everything gets done.
So are you going to be handling my Sigea Cloud Labs LinkedIn account? Is that going to be you? I love. You know what? I recognize the necessity of LinkedIn. To me, it reeks of dudes with cell phone holsters. So I don't spend as much time over there as I should. And I'd love to know that you are taking care of that. Is that kind of your gig? Are you going to be making sure that we look good?
Yeah. So it's funny that you say that. As of a month and a half ago, I no longer am going to be handling it hands-on. We brought on a great girl. You're going to be in communication with her. Her name's Avery. She's great at digital marketing. I am her direct supervisor. So I make sure that it gets done, even though I'm not physically doing it. But the first year that I was at RodeoROI, I was handling all the social media marketing for all of our clients. But we passed on the torch, and now I am in charge of making sure that it's just handled.
And
so
yeah, no, and that's fine. That works for me as long as it's handled. I like to think that we're a really good example to see what RodeoROI can do, because we're basically babes in the wood here. We don't know what we're doing. We really hope that you guys do, and because we are live when we're in town, we're live 5 nights a week. We're going to be talking about you. So whatever charts you show us, we're going to be putting them up. So I'm really hoping that you guys are successful. Everything for us, for Sigea Cloud, is about getting users to the website. Everything that you need is going to be on the website. The website itself is the web app for us, and we need to get users there. So how about that? And yay, show the baby. Look, baby. Look, Belle, we got a baby. Look, I'm gonna hit the applause. We're
Always a great thing.
We're big family people here. So what are you gonna do for Sigea Cloud? How about that, Leslie? I'm just gonna drop it right. I'm just gonna leave it as open-ended as I can. What you're right. You can applause. I'm happy
Yay!
too. She's just so happy to be make sure that her data stays private. What are you gonna do for Sigea Cloud, Leslie? Take it away.
What we're going to be doing is making sure, kind of like what Zach had mentioned, is our motto is when you come to Rodeo ROI, we want to make sure that you're going up and to the right. So when it comes to that SEO, we want to make sure that, you know, ironically speaking, I know that you guys have way more knowledge on W3 than I do. But in order to get you on the map, to keep people off the map, I guess, like my understanding of W3 is we have to make sure that you guys are Googleable. So what we're going to do is make sure that when people are searching for this type of technology, that you guys pop up first and that it's organic, right? I'm sure that you guys come up against this if you're searching something on the web, like let's say, I don't know, like Mexican food restaurant near me. Sometimes you see like sponsored and it's the first thing that pops up. And I don't know about you, but I typically go for what Google Business has the best reviews and what's popping up organically first, right? That's the point where you're not paying to play. It's about organic traffic. And so what I'm personally going to be doing for you guys is making sure that all the on-page SEO looks good so that you guys are searchable, and handling those keywords in a way that when anyone is Googling you, we want you guys to pop up first, which I'm sure they've gone into this, setting the right expectations. These things take time. So, but that's going to be our goal over the next few months, is making sure that you guys are up and to the right.
Oh, and we certainly understand. I can see you. I can see you got an 18-month-old that's toddling all around right now, huh? She's going for your power strip and all that. It's all right. Look, we're a family show. Yeah, that'll be it's going to be interesting for us. It's going to be, obviously, it's our entire business model is depend. This is a great interview. That is the cutest child ever. Belle, do you want to weigh in on this, or are you just going to leave me up there? That's the cutest child
I
ever.
mean, the baby is absolutely adorable. I'm really hoping my daughter doesn't see this stream, because, I mean, she's already talking about wanting a lot of kiddos, and that little one is not going to help any.
You know,
I
Leslie,
mean,
you'll be able to remember back this and say that her very first live stream was a very quality production. So if nothing else, there you go. I have some other silly sound effects on here. I won't play them because there's an 18-month-old present. So I'm not going to be doing that. But, oh, my God, I just blanked. I was ready to roll on something, and I think the child distracted me. I was like, I want another baby, Belle. I'm 54.
You know
Obviously,
what?
ain't going to happen, but here we are.
You know what? We get a lot of a lot of people giving us a hard time on this stream. The baby's positive.
I'll tell you what.
We need more of that.
Okay, yeah, and we absolutely do. All right, Belle, before I derail myself completely here, are there any questions, comments, concerns, or observations, or should we just carry on?
We do actually have a few. So
Take it away.
Andrew Coat, shout out Zach. He's the man, and I would trust my business in his hands.
Do you, Zach, do you know Andrew Coat?
Cody, C-O-T-E?
Yeah.
I do. I'm not sure how he found this, but
Well, good
Andrew,
for you.
and I'm sorry for butchering your last name, Andrew, but yeah. Sorry. But yeah. Yeah. Word gets around.
You know what, Andrew? Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Give us a like, a share, subscribe, all that other stuff. Look, man, we're in the app business, but this is our passion. It's always been our passion. Bella and I have been out here broadcasting for years to an audience of 0, but we still went on night after night after night because we do love it. We like to have our say, and it's literally the thing that drove us to build Sigea Cloud, where anybody can have their say and nobody can stop them from doing it. So I appreciate any help you can give us. Belle, please carry on.
Sigea fan, getting here a little late and catching up on 2X. Love Scott's voice on 2X.
2X. I can't imagine what I sound like on 2X. Yeah, he's just a big fan of the show. Go ahead and carry on, Belle.
All right, Jackson Willis, Rodeo ROI. Let's freaking go.
Are you ready, Zach?
I'm ready.
You guys have a really hungry team, it seems like. I mean,
No,
come on, let's do this.
I love having guests, man. I think it's awesome. Look, Zach, we're in a tough space, but we are the bridge. All right, Sigea Cloud, as it sits. I know you don't know Web3, but fortunately we do. We are the bridge between Web3 and Web2. All right, we're it. We call ourselves Cloud 2.5. That's the space that we occupy, and it's kind of a difficult space. Now, when we had our initial meeting, you asked, how would you describe your system? And I said, we describe our protocol as Dropbox, but better. And you seem to like that. Can you tell me why you like that?
I can absolutely tell you why I like that, because we're big fans over here of actually reverse engineering and giving the power of the quote unquote top dogs with the technology that we have, and how we set up our SEO strategies. Nothing is sacred in terms of SEO strategy. Like, I know what keywords big companies are going after, and then to put them in the hands of a growing company is something that can make them competitive, right? And so we love doing that all the time, and almost being a shark in the water. If they lose their connection to a keyword, we love aggressively going after that one and catching it before they even realize it. They used to rank for, best compression or something like that, and all of a sudden, Sigea is everywhere. Doing things like that is just core to our strategy in terms of reverse engineering that. But the other thing that I liked about it is because you immediately followed that up with an anecdote about a story about someone trying to upload something and it taking 10 individual tries. And with any experience with any company, something like that, obviously as a consumer, it's not something that anyone likes to deal with. And then just having the direct solution to that, and the fact that that wouldn't happen with your software, I was like, this is awesome. Because what we also talked about was just the fact that when someone runs into that sort of barrier, that they very well might pop over to Google or Grok, right, and be like, hey, what's a better solution? Because I'm beating my head against the wall and this just ain't it, chief.
Yeah, and that's actually interesting to me. Now, our theoretical limit for a single file, and this is on mobile, is 32 gigabytes. We have not really been able to fully test that because nobody's got a 32 gigabyte file sitting on their phone, but it might come up. So using that, because we're price competitive with Dropbox and all the alternatives. We're price competitive, but we're a little bit more expensive because we cannot harvest your data. We can't sell your data. Dropbox does, Google does, Amazon Web Service does, and Azure certainly does. It's in their terms of service. We cannot do any of that. So we have to try to lean everything down so that we can kind of stay price competitive. Now, how are you going to help us out here knowing that we are a little bit more expensive than everybody else? Our big feature, of course, is privacy. We can never harvest or sell your data because we don't even know who you are. And we offer more utility than they do. There is not a single consumer app out here right now that offers client-side encryption. We're it. Dropbox doesn't even offer consumer client-side encryption. They say that they kind of offer it for enterprise, but they still hold the keys. We do not. We can't, because as soon as we're exposed that we do, then we're just a Dropbox clone, and we don't want to be that. So how are you going to help us getting out, knowing that we are utility driven more than just convenience driven? How would you kind of frame that up?
Well, realistically, leveraging your value proposition. And that's everything I loved about your company when you showed me the product itself, when we did the quick demo, when you and I were talking as well, Scott. And it is easy to use and it looks great. And the value proposition that you bring is you have this real tipping point where people are very much so tired of the data mining, and almost getting to a point where they feel like, is this just is what it is? Like, does every company just do this? And so now you have this, y'all have effectively come full circle where I can find a company that doesn't actually do that. That in and of itself as a core tenet for y'all becomes a huge selling point and something that we would leverage. So to back up a little bit, when we're talking about keywords, right? When people are very much so interested in a different type of service and they're searching for something specific, something that is utility driven and something that is not going to, steal their data, right? And it's so sad that we've become numb to all these breaches and like this, it just is what it is. And that's why I believe that y'all's value proposition is so powerful, because y'all are literally showing people that it doesn't have to be that way, right? You would be surprised how effective of a selling point I believe that to be, for someone to come across your particular platform and you win the tiebreaker. It's like, well, okay, they do what Dropbox does, but like, what's the difference? And it's like, well, the one thing that you care about is your data is yours. I believe you even told me, Scott, it's like, you really don't care about their data. That's not the point of what you guys are trying to do.
No, not at all. I literally don't care what you're putting up because I can't see it. So how much care should I put into AES 256 encrypted data? I can't break it. I can't open it up. So no, use it however you choose to use it. I've always been under the contention that people do want privacy, but they're effectively trapped because there's none out there. You know, Google does it. You know, Microsoft does it. You know, Amazon Web Service does it. They literally come out and say, yeah, we do it. The data storage market, I don't know if you were aware of this, Zach, but I'm intimately aware. The data storage market to host your data is approximately $320 billion annually. That's it. That's what's being. I'm saying it. I'm dismissing it like I'm poo-pooing $320 billion. But the data sales market is $1.05 trillion as of today. So it is more profitable for these companies to simply harvest your data and sell it out than it is to physically store it. So I don't know if people are aware of this, but they're effectively trapped because there is no alternative. But I'm not sure that I want to go to war with iCloud or that I want to go to war with Amazon. I can't. I'm not going to win that one. They will simply outspend me. So Zach, my question is, how do you get us to the top of the fold?
So again, leveraging what people care about. People do feel trapped. That doesn't mean that they don't search for answers, right? And again, I think we were also saying the same thing in terms of people like very much so getting numb to that. And then, I mean, I'm thinking, you know, a life raft in the middle of the ocean situation where it's like, oh, it doesn't have to be this way, right? More and more people, as they gravitate away from even Web2, but as they gravitate away from that, the companies that do that. So it's like, if we are effectively in a tiebreaker, what are the things that people are searching? So it's actual services, anywhere that you might overlap with Dropbox, right? And it's like, okay, well, what really is the difference? Prices are effectively the same. Maybe one's a little bit more, maybe one's a little bit less. Again, they're effectively the same. Like, what is going to be a driving factor here? And it all starts from where this search began. What was the ultimate question that they were plugging into some sort of search engine or AI engine to actually got them to this point? If that driving factor was they are tired of their data being stolen and they want something that is encrypted, and they're, you know, and again, the other situation of limitations on file sharing, right? Those are the types of keywords, and that's the strategy that and furthermore, we want to write blogs about that. And it's crazy how important blogging still is, but, you know, very much so adding blog content that is centered around these feelings that, I mean, people are having, but what, they're just not talking about anymore. Like, we don't have to sit there and take it, so to speak. And again, I don't think this is unique to me. That of everything that you were telling me when you were going through your actual application, I was like, this is just great, just because I am tired of that. I don't like, we see, you know, these huge breaches in banks and we're just supposed to be okay with it. Like, I just don't think that I'm alone. I think that the majority of Americans feel that way. And even if they do feel trapped, writing content when they are seeking out these sorts of problems and finding a blog that's very interesting and very informative and is not afraid to go into these types of things is something that people will spend time on. And then lo and behold, that blog exists on your website, right? It's the next logical step to solving the problem is just download our app.
And we're really hoping that you're correct. You seem so confident, man. I mean, I defer to people that are in their realm of expertise. This is not mine. All right. I build apps and I talk into a microphone. That's all I do. But as far as getting people to download it or get over to my website, no, I have no idea. And this isn't just an us problem. That's what makes it interesting, is that this is kind of a Web3 problem. Let me ask, I'm going to put you on the spot here for just real quick. When I say, and this is practically word association. When I say cryptocurrency, what's the very first thing that pops in your head?
Bitcoin.
Okay, and what else?
Mining, difficult, hard to decipher.
Okay, and that's perfect, man. So, are you guys hearing this? Are you guys hearing this? And this is for the Web3 audience. This is for the Web3 audience that might be watching. If you want to know why you continue to struggle, it's not just the products. It's the fact that you are doing effectively zero outreach. This is a man that lives in this world, that lives over in this world of getting people from point A to point B. And he is just not familiar with it because you're not doing it correctly, but he can. That's all I'm saying on that one, Bell. But he can.
right.
Go ahead. You seem
And
excited. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I mean, Leslie's back on. Yeah, and so same question to her. Let's hear what her thoughts are, because multiple viewpoints are never a bad thing.
Sure. Take it away, Leslie.
I mean, I honestly, I would agree with Zach. I know absolutely nothing about Bitcoin. I know that I had a friend that like used money somehow to buy a piece of art that was digital, and then he was I completely lost. I've never dabbled in cryptocurrency at all and Bitcoin, so yeah, like with Zach, I would say difficulty, I would say lack of knowledge, I would say pretend. Like I still, it doesn't compute to me. I don't know how it works.
Okay,
so
then let me give you a very difficult question, Leslie. You ready for this one?
Sure.
Whether you know it or not, can you drive traffic to their sites?
Yes.
You see how easy that is, folks? All you got to do is ask the questions and ask them to the right people. I find that absolutely amazing. We need you. Sigea Cloud needs you guys to drive traffic to our site. We're a very easy to understand Web3 application, even though we're the bridge between Web2 and Web3. But my question is, could you do it with a Web3 gaming company?
Yes.
That actually builds Web3 games. You know how to do that. That's your wheelhouse. You can get them there.
Yeah, our wheelhouse is SEO. We work with multiple industries. I mean, to name a few, we work with plumbers, restaurants, med spas. The list continues. And what we've done is we're able to, based on whatever industry you are in, whatever your product is, part of what I do is research on what your competitors are. And based on that, depending on what their website traffic looks like, how are we going to outrank the words that they're currently ranking for? How do we get you above that? So it doesn't matter what you provide. It doesn't matter the service you provide, what have you. SEO is SEO. All it is using the right keywords and using them better than your competitors.
That is a fantastic answer. I just gotta point that out. Guys, I know this went off the rails a little bit. This was me personally. All right, this is something very, very personal for me, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm working with the right people. And Leslie, I promise, if you do good for us, we'll give you more money. We will absolutely give you more money. We understand symbiosis. All right, you do good for us, we'll do good for you. And I got a hunch you want my money more than you you want my help. I'm more than happy to accommodate you on that. All right, Belle,
Hey, you know what?
What?
You know what? I mean, yeah, Sigea Cloud goes live, and I can see an enterprise contract heading our way.
I can see a couple of enterprise contracts heading our way. All right, Belle, if we got another couple questions that are primarily directed to either Leslie or Zach, let's go ahead and get those. If not, I'm going to take a short break, and then we will come right back.
All right. We've actually got a couple. I'm going to start with the best one so far, since Leslie is standing by. G. Torres, baby is so cute.
Thank you.
Is that a question?
No.
I thought it was clear. Go ahead, Bill.
All right. We have to start somewhere. It's all about results. How soon do you guys expect us to begin seeing the increase in traffic?
Oh, good question.
You want me to take that, Zach?
Yeah.
That is an excellent question, because this is organic. It's not something that happens overnight, that it's not PPC or a paid advertisement. This is something I would say at least the first month but our clients, with how aggressive we are with the keywords, our clients start seeing an uptick in their second month. We actually had a restaurant that was with us that went from I built the website, and there was nothing, and they went from being nothing online, not searchable, to #1 within 2 months. Now, That's not every client. It's not every industry. It varies, but you can start seeing the uptick within 3 months. This is a gradual process because it's organic. So it's not going to be overnight.
Now I'm gonna pile on to that question because that was an excellent question. Are we your only tech company, or do you represent several? Because we are a tech company.
This is our first tech company.
Okay. So based on that, and you know who we are competing against, correct? We're competing against absolute entrenched powerhouses. So what are you going to do for us? How are you going to make us stand out? How are you going to make Sigea Cloud special? I don't care if we're top of the fold or the very top of the search, but I would be very, very happy being right underneath them. So how are you going to do that?
Sorry, Rip was his name is Rip, by the way. He was using it, and so I just didn't want to be on mic. But
Leslie, if you need to take him, I can cover you.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay. So getting there is obviously the most important part. Like I said, if you're right below it, then we're doing something right. Whether you're number one or you're number two. But as far as making you stand out, I think that leveraging what it is that you guys do and exploiting that is the ultimate goal of what we're doing. And I really do believe in a lot of your entire value proposition, the things that you bring. And so to answer your question, Scott, to make you stand out, more people need to be able to find you, because I do know that they will resonate with the messaging and the core principles as a business and what you guys are trying to do and the differentiators that you have. Because at the end of the day, going back to that tiebreaker that I was talking about, that's kind of all that we have, right? It's like, what is the point of choosing one or the other? You have to like the differentiation. You have to like the things that, Scott is standing 10 toes in on, that he will never change, right? We will never do anything with your data where we can be faster. Any of the things that we've discussed previously, those are the things that people are going to care about. And so to make you show up number one, eventually more people can see it, and then more people can care about it, if that makes sense.
And it does. But here's one I've always been kind of curious about. The thing that'll differentiate number one or number two, is it simply the amount of people who will click number two that could propel them to number one? I mean, is that it? I don't know this, and I got a hunch you do.
No. So the behavior in that way doesn't really alter the effects, right? Someone that is doing it longer, sure, like that's kind of is what it is. But whoever is getting more aggressive with their backlink strategy and their keyword strategy. So for the restaurant that Leslie was talking about, for example, right? Someone was previously number one for forever, right? In that particular market. And then when we came on the scene, because we knew which keywords to target, and we knew that we needed to have an actual backlink profile that was non-existent for this client because they didn't have a website, and the types of things that we were updating the content on a monthly basis on like their blog and their actual website, we knew what to actually go after to have them rank higher. So that it's like, it didn't matter as it was rising through the ranks, so to speak, from week to week, that more people were clicking on it because it was number 7, right? It was the actual work that you do on the off-page SEO that gets you to where you need to be. Now, the only other conversation would be around maybe like a PPC scenario, and it's not necessarily like the ranking higher. PPC is interesting. The sponsored post that Leslie talked about before, you can pay to play to be the top spot. The problem is I haven't met somebody that wants to turn up the radio when the commercials come on, or doesn't immediately look at their phone whenever the commercials come on TV, doesn't scroll a little bit faster on social media or swipe over on a story when it's an ad. We're pretty fed up as consumers with advertising in general, and that's what the umbrella that PPC falls under. And so my point being is, someone sees like the sponsored section, right? You can click on that for your competitor and actually cost them money, which is very, very bad.
You've thrown out two terms that I've never heard before, and if you could elaborate, I would appreciate it. One is backlink. I don't know what the hell that is, and you said PPC. Maybe everybody else out here does, but me. But I've never heard that term either. Could you expand on those just a little bit?
Yeah. So backlinks, link building in general is just connecting to authoritative other websites through like a hyperlink and URL from your website to theirs. is a very, very simple way to put it. That's like effectively a backlink.
You know, you just said it, Zach, and I don't know what the hell you said. Can you explain it to the 18?
To the 18-month-old?
Yeah, because I didn't get it. Man.
No, I got you. So just think about when you're on a website, right? And let's say you're reading a blog on a website, right? A real good content piece. And you're scrolling through it and it's just the black and white text. And then all of a sudden you see the blue one and it's a link to go somewhere else, right? Mm-hmm. And typically it's something that's supporting what that article is talking about to give it more authority, kind of like citing your sources like we used to do back in the day when we were writing, papers, right? So same philosophy there. Well, now when I click on that, since that website was embedded in mine, I click on it and it redirects and I go over to the other one. That is a backlink. I created that backlink because I linked back to another website.
Okay, I got you. Now, what is PPC? Because you've used that acronym several times, and I don't know what the hell that is.
So pay-per-click advertising, there's a lot of different forms of it, but the most like for use case for this, like when we think of Google ads, so people paying Google to show up #1 with that bold lettering that says sponsored on Google, that is not organic. You pay to be there, right? We want our clients get there organically, meaning that big taboo sponsored bold word will not be there because they're not paying to be there in that way. They're not paying Google directly. And that's what I was talking about before when it comes to any form of advertising. Like I said, people not turning up the radio when a commercial comes on. Like a consumer knows what that is. And it's just like anything, it's been around for a while. It's been used and abused by way too many different types of companies. So now a lot of people, when they see sponsored posts, they're like, oh, I know for a fact that they're just paying to be there #1. But also they've been, quote unquote, bamboozled in the past because they clicked on something because it was quote unquote #1. It was the sponsored #1 up there. And then they go there, they do a little bit more research, they find other companies, compare the reviews, and they're like, wait a minute, this is definitely not the best company. Why did they show up #1? That's happened to too many people too many times over the years to where it's not exactly trusted. Now, it still works because plenty enough people do still click on it, right? Not everybody thinks in that same lineage of a thought process rather that I just went over, but enough of them do, and that number is growing.
So just another personal question here. Should we pay to play? Should Sigea Cloud pay to play?
So in the interim, in the short term, in the beginning, that's never necessarily a bad strategy. Where we will eventually get you, like all of our clients, is there's this transition from your organic traffic, how many people are coming to your website weekly, right? Mm-hmm. And then you can actually ascertain a value to that, your organic traffic value. And that is the equivalent that you would have to pay Google for the same amount of people to get to your website. And so ultimately you get to the point like with our clients, and you guys will be in this boat down the road, where the amount that you're paying us is a fraction of what you would have to pay Google. So instead of paying Google, let's just say $5,000 a month to get 200 people to your website weekly, right? You could pay a company to do organic strategy over time. Let's say, a fourth of that would be like 1,500, right? Or somewhere around there, right? So if you're paying me that, and then that's the amount you have to pay Google to get the same amount of people, by virtue of just paying me to do that, and having us do the work, you're saving the 75% that you would normally have to pay to Google. And even when paying Google, still have that sponsored little thing up next to it.
Well, it's kind of interesting because right now we are all about cost of customer acquisition. All right, we have limited funds. We don't. Well, we're gonna be all right, but we're trying to spend surgically and smartly. So it was our opinion that it was a better spend for RodeoROI as opposed to just splashing ourselves up on Google. It's my personal contention that people are just tired of it. They're tired of the ads. They're tired of key opinion leaders, which is just the stupidest, most Orwellian expression I've ever heard in my life. They're tired of celebrity endorsements, and they're tired of all this stuff. And they actually want to see something real. So that's kind of why we went with you, because we think you can get us there. You seem so damn confident, Zach. That's what it was, man. I know, because I'm a confident guy as well. But you seem so damn confident and sure of yourself. So are you going to be, we're going to be, what we do, right? We sell apps, we sell privacy, we sell storage, but we also go live a lot. So are you that confident that you don't mind me splashing those metrics up? I'm going to give you 3 months with no visibility whatsoever, because I understand that organic takes time. I know, because we're organic. So after the 3 months, are you comfortable with me splashing these pages up and say, this is what ROI did for us? We are, in fact, up and to the right. Are you good with that?
Yes, and I would appreciate that.
Wow, look at there, Belle. Did you did you hear that, Belle?
I did hear that.
That's
And
just-
actually, yeah, that's a perfect segue because we've got a ton of questions and more comments coming in. So, yeah.
Good. You take him, Belle. I'm going to sit here and drink my bourbon a little bit. I'm not changing frames, guys. I'm going to take my pants off. Go ahead, Belle. Do your thing.
Please keep your pants on. Okay, anyway, so the first two comments are from Sofa Ninja and Sigea Fan. You know, Sofa Ninja says, I tend not to click the sponsored links on Google. I usually click the ones below it. I would say that's probably a good philosophy. What about you?
I agree. So that's the ones below it are what I was talking before. That's the organic number one, the person that has done, the right things through an SEO strategy to actually get there and didn't try to, cheat the system and show up overnight. And the other thing about the sponsored posts is with Google PPC, the day that you stop paying, you stop showing up anyway. So like, ironically, if I search something and someone ran out of budget on Google for PPC, I could search it a couple of days later, a week later, and they wouldn't actually even be there anymore. So whereas, again, the point of that is because organic and doing the hard work the right way, like we do, you would still be there because you're organic, but you're not paying to be there in that way. But yes, I think that is a very common sentiment around people, and definitely piggybacking off of what Scott said too. People just kind of don't trust the ads anymore. They want that organic side of things.
All right. So next comment coming in from Sigea Fan. Yeah, I generally ignore ads whenever possible. I just don't trust that they are likely what I'm searching for in most cases.
That's a good perspective as well. I mean, that's up to whoever the ad manager is and if they know what they're doing when it comes to keyword targeting. You also have a lot of people that are trying to get any and all traffic, maybe to appease a boss. Like, look at all this traffic that we're getting, like an in-house, SEO person at a particular company. And they're just trying to throw a lot of stuff at the wall and sees what sticks type of things. You also have like kind of predatory behavior too, where people will pay for PPC to pay for keywords of competitors. So like if someone types in something, another company's name, if you pay enough, it'll say you could be the sponsored person that actually shows up. We do see predatory behavior like that as well. And these are just kind of all the sick, twisted parts of PPC that makes it very distasteful and like not in a long-term strategy that most people want to engage in anyway.
All right. So next comment coming in from G Torres. Yeah, and we can all chime in on this one. Links of Sigea won't appear as sponsored, will they?
They will not.
Dude, if they do, we're gonna have a personal phone call, man. I'm gonna bust your fucking balls with that.
I'm not paying for that, and I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Leslie is sitting there, and yeah, she's got a thought as well.
Yeah, no, that's not even an option. No, it's not going to ever say sponsored. So you rest assured that won't happen.
Somebody's got crackers. I can't have crackers anymore because I don't eat carbohydrates or sugar. So thank your child for mocking me right now. That's great. Come on, Belle.
Peanut butter pretzels. Peanut butter filled pretzels. Yeah, even better.
Pretzels. Go ahead, Belle.
All right, Sigea Fan. All right, and this has been partially answered, but maybe you can add more details here, guys. Are AdSense paid links in Google still an effective way to bridge getting clicks before SEO takes effect, or are they so saturated that it is no longer cost effective?
Good question. My goodness, we got a smart audience.
I lean towards the latter just because that just is effectively where it's going. It doesn't mean you won't get a return. But it also depends on industry. So depending on the product or service that you offer and the price point that you offer it at, even though like the cost per click might be higher or lower than what you've seen in the past, if the trade-off isn't there, then it's like, just don't do it because the trade-off just isn't there. But I do tend to lean towards the latter.
All right, so moving on. Sofa Ninja. When you first heard about Sigea and this idea of a decentralized cloud, what did you picture? What did that mean to you at face value?
Can you repeat that?
Absolutely. So again, the user Sofa Ninja, when you first heard about Sigea and this idea of a decentralized cloud, meaning not housed in a data center, just so we're clear. What did you picture? What did that mean to you at face value?
I mean, just from my limitations with W3, as we've seen are apparently clear. My first thought was like, okay, this sounds cool. Okay, like, tell me more. But also, it seemed like, I guess to be frank, I was like, this isn't something that already exists. Like, this is really cool. Like, I guess I kind of took it as something that has such a need now that I'm glad that you guys are actually filling the space. And like I said, I don't use Dropbox all that often. Like, I really don't. But if there's like, when me talking to Scott was like what sold me. I mean, just the ease of use when I was going through it, I was like, that's the point. We need to get more people here. We need to get more hands on the actual product and actually using it. See how easy, see how cool it is. And then that's what will help them fall in love. I mean, I think I've said that a couple of times.
I'll tell you what, Zach, you better never use Dropbox again. Can I at least
I
count
won't.
on you being a Sigea Cloud customer? I would certainly appreciate it.
I signed up the last time we talked. I signed up for Sigea Cloud.
There you go.
So we're good.
And new type, I think that kind of answers some of your later question that I'm going to ask here in a little bit. So yeah, hope you're taking note of that one.
All right, get to it, Bell. I don't want to tie him up all night.
Yeah, especially with the 18-month-old who is
Yep.
apparently wanting to snack, and it's probably, it's probably getting close to bedtime for the little guy. All right, Sigea fan, what do you guys, and this is to both Zach and Leslie, so definitely chime in one after the other. What do you guys think of Sigea's tagline, privacy in your pocket?
I mean, I'll go
I'll
first.
chime in first because Rip is occupied and happy. I mean, I love it. I think in terms of it just being 2025, just all the issues when it comes to data mining and I mean, just lack of privacy. To give you an example, like I'm not on social media personally, even though I do it for a living, but I was talking about something and just being on my browser on my phone, there was an ad for it within 20 minutes. And I don't like that. I feel like we all feel it. We all feel like we're being watched. So it's really cool that we partnered with a company like yours because I'm actually a very private person. So I think what you guys are doing, I think it's really cool. And I was really excited whenever Zach told me about this.
Zach.
So I'm excited about it in terms of privacy in your pocket.
Zach.
Leslie's been one-upping me all night. I'm about to bring my 3-month-old into the frame so I can get some points here. No, I agree with everything that she said. I mean, I have social media and I do use it more than Leslie, but like I look back and it's like, oh, I go like a year without posting. It's like, why do I really have this? It is to consume. And a lot of my experience goes back to being targeted by ads. And I think you guys can tell I have such a disdain for it. I'm just on the organic train. That's the world that I live in and that I'm most experienced with. And I do get tired of being bombarded with ads that are maybe ill-timed. They're the same ones over and over that I definitely don't fit this demographic, right? And so the only way that can come from is like, oh, wow, how does Facebook know more about me than my own mother? Right? Like these types of situations where your data is just getting sent everywhere. So I love the tagline to answer the question there. I mean, privacy in your pocket. I think that it's a really good description of what it is that you guys are trying to accomplish. And I think that it's something that people are going to resonate as well with. I mean, this on the go mentality has been around for well over a decade now. I mean, you can't even drive down the street downtown anywhere without almost hitting a pedestrian because their face is buried in their phone, right? Hopefully they all their data is protected privately in their pocket now with Sigea.
All right. So, Yort, do you guys interact with any other search engines like DuckDuckGo or Yahoo? I heard you guys mention Google and Bing.
Les, can you confirm?
Yeah. So our main ones are Google, Yahoo, and Bing. That is because those are the top 3 search engines. So that's not to say that we couldn't. To be clear, backlinks are backlinks. What we're doing, since Google is the #1 search engine, we're going by their rules of engagement when it comes to like different policies that they put in place. It's constantly molding. And so what Zach had mentioned, it's like quarterly, they like whip out some new rule that you have to follow, or one new thing that they are now looking for when it comes to keywords and ranking and stuff like that. So we stay on top of that because Google is #1 on the search engine. Backlinks are backlinks regardless, because it's on the web. It's not necessarily a search engine, if that makes sense. I hope that answers the question. So it would be effective across the board, but the reason that we mention those top 3 is because they're the top 3 searched.
Hey, Leslie, how are you enjoying the AMA? Have you done a live stream that's an AMA before? That's an Ask Me Anything. Are you enjoying? Are you having a good time? Huh?
Yeah, it's fun. You're definitely keeping me on the toes.
She ain't loving it. That's all right. No, I get it.
No,
Man.
I
We're a
think
little much
she'd
for a
love
lot
it.
of people.
I think she'd love it more if she didn't have an 18-month-old that she's trying to keep an eye
I know,
on as well
as
as do
I'm-
the stream.
As I'm sitting up here swilling bourbon, and I'm not sure what Zach is drinking, but it's probably not this. Anyway, carry on, Belle. We're coming to the end of it.
All right, so Braden hit us with $1 super chat, trying to get in #1 spot.
You got it, dude. Nobody tips us anymore. All right, we exist on the success or failure of our app. Carry on, Belle.
He had it for a little while. Oh, he's back to #1 right now, but he had it for a little while and then dropped down to #2 and then bounced back up to #1.
My hero.
I don't
Carry
know.
on, Belle. Get to it.
New type, and you guys have already partially answered this question, but new type asking, I can definitely see how Rodeo will help Sigea in marketing. However, can we go more in depth about how Sigea will actually help Rodeo? Currently sounds like a one-way partnership from what I've heard.
Woo! What a question.
Well, again, Zach is already, and again, on the test version, so we're going to have to get him the updated APK as well. But Zach is already using Sigea.
What do you think about that, Zach? Huh?
I mean, as far as already using it, I mean, I love it.
No.
What are you something more specific?
Yeah, she's you guys are going to help us, or you guys are going to help us. You're going to get web traffic up there. I think that seems to be the answer. Can you confirm that? That's what he's asking. How are you going to help Sigea?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, we're going to get traffic up by doing the things that we know how to do in order to make you searchable. And not just, I guess, so we're really good at outside the box thinking in terms of keyword research. So, Andrew and Leslie spend a lot of time on this, but there's more to it than just like, oh, let's point at the obvious. What's the exact thing that I do that people would be searching for? There's also problem solving approaches to keywords as well, more long-tailed keywords. So people that didn't even know that they were looking for you, right? But there's this common search term that gets a lot of traffic in the hundreds or thousands, even better, where they're trying to solve a specific problem. And the answer is, in fact, Sigea.
All right.
So how do I?
You know what? I'm going to cut you off for a second. I never do this, bro, but I love your vibe. What is my specific search term? What is going to put us to the top? What are you going to do to drive all this traffic? You know what Sigea Cloud is. You're a user.
And okay, actually, new type is clarifying. Okay, no. How is Sigea going to help Rodeo?
Yeah, there you go, brother. How are we going to help you? How are you going to ride up our coattails? Good question.
If that one's for me, we're already doing it. I mean, we appreciate you guys having us on so much. The goal here and what's going to happen is when we knock it out of the park for you guys, we now jump into the tech space as well in terms of getting clients like you. So that's what we're obviously looking to get out of it on our end. And then as far as using the product, I mean, like you said, we're never going to use Dropbox again.
I would hope not. Look, man, we got 4 people that are standing by to use you, but you have to show us a little bit of success. So I think that's kind of where he's going with that. I want to flood you with
more than that by now.
Yeah, more than that by now, man. Look, I want to flood you with customers, but you know what? From a personal standpoint, I want to make sure that I'm the top of the fold for our RodeoROI. So I'm not even going to say this, Mel. I'm not going to do it. I told you we have fun here. Anyway, I'm not going to carry on that question. That'll just be embarrassing. Go ahead, Belle. Carry on,
All
please.
right, we can move on to the next one.
and we
Also
are-
from New Type.
Yes, and we are at time. I know that, look, they have children and all that other stuff. Let's go ahead and get them out of there.
And look at Zach trying to one up everybody with his little one.
Did he bring the kid on? I don't see him.
He did bring the 3-month-old little one on.
Oh my goodness.
What's a Sigea onesie?
Oh my God. I swear I'll make if you put him in one, I will send you one. I promise you, man. We're all about swag.
Consider it done. Consider it done. If you send me one, he'll wear it.
Oh, we got to do that, Belle. All right, look, let's get that done. Come on, Belle. Let's go. We got to get him out of here.
All right, so New Type, do you guys primarily focus on domestic SEO, or do you guys find success across the world also?
Please tell me you go across the world, dude. We're looking at Japan, South Korea, and India. Tell me you can help me.
We can track keyword by location, and also like a link's a link, as Leslie said before. But yeah, traffic is either we can get down to hyper specific for a client if they only want to do business in a specific city state, all the way to international and then to international. Yes.
No, we want Japan, we want Korea, South Korea, obviously, and we want India. I would say China, but you know damn good and well this app is not going to be allowed in China. There's no way that's going to happen. That is another of the cutest babies I've ever seen in my life right there. Look at him. This is his first live stream, right? This is the first time he's been on it, and it's a good production, Belle. I'm just so very happy that we can make this happen. Go ahead, Belle.
All right, New Type. At first glance, do you think Sigea would have more success with enterprises, so businesses, or with retail individual users?
I think that it would be great to land an enterprise contract. And if you have somebody that can, I mean, I'm Scott's, y'all are a passionate enough team. I think it's about connecting to the right, enterprise Fortune 500. There is value there, and that can be done. I think that the route that might not take as long to see wins, they will be smaller, would be the retail route.
Yeah.
Right. Get a critical mass with a bunch of different fans and followers and advocates and stands. And then from there, you can use them to jump to the next level. You capture this fan that started as an individual user who absolutely loves it. You solved every problem that they've had with every other platform. And then boom, they happen to be a COO at a company and want to implement you.
Yeah, and that's kind of my thought there as well, Zach. We're going pure grassroots. We're back out in Vegas next week. We're going to meet your competitors. I'm sure we're going to shake hands with a few of them. But yeah, that's my thought as well. From the consumer side, is just going pure grassroots. We don't want calls. We don't want sponsored ads. We want you guys to simply do well for us. So that's kind of our thought as well. Go ahead and carry on, Belle.
All right, Yort. And yeah, I do give you guys, because I know this was discussed before, when we had our initial meeting, I do give you guys, as CEO, I do give you guys permission to disclose this information. What kind of searches have you done on Sigea and our service? From your discovery, what would be keywords you would be keying on?
Look at poor Leslie. Oh my God, you just popped up on. I'm so sorry.
No worries. I didn't realize I was unmuted. So, full transparency, they were onboarded 2 days ago. Based on, so this is something that first initial week, so the first 5 business days of a new client being on with us. Part of what I do, and then part of what Andrew does, who is head of SEO. This is something that we do a deep dive on. I think, honestly, like based on just like, if I had to guess off the top of my head, I would say secure data. That would be something. And you guys are global, so obviously it's not going to be like a keyword is going to say something and then near me, right? It's because you guys are a tech company. But that would be off the top of my head. It's within the first 5 days, full transparency. That's when we're doing all of this research in that first initial 5 business days to make sure that we are targeting the right keywords, transactional keywords, which is what Zach touched on. So we want to make sure that we are outranking competitors. So but like I said, if I had to put a word to it, like right now off the top of my head, yeah, I would say secure data.
All right. I get your child.
Someone's having a fun time on this one.
Leslie, let me ask you one. Are you going to use Sigea? I know the answer. Obviously, you're live. We're going out. We don't edit, so I know the answer. Is Sigea Cloud something that would interest you?
It is. Anything that is secure interests me, truthfully.
Oh, we're secure.
Yeah, and in terms of just sharing things and things of that nature. I mean, like I said, I'm not on social media, so your crowd saw Rip before anyone on social media ever has. So
that is great.
No one has seen him unless you have a physical copy or a text from me. You have not seen a picture of Rip. So yeah, I can see myself using it to share things.
And the neat thing is that if you use our protocol, nobody will ever see it except for the person that you shared it with. Do you understand how technologically advanced this actually is? We are removing Big Brother from your life. We're removing surveillance from your life. This is our ethos all the way down to our very, very core. Your business is your business, and we intend to keep it that way.
Mm-hmm. And ironically, we realize that you guys need a service like ours that puts you on the map to keep people off the map.
And that's why we're talking. Yep.
Yeah. And ironically, the person that's going to be handling a lot of this for you, like I said, is not on social media and has not been for a couple of years now because of Big Brother, because of things like that. So like I said, I was excited whenever we brought you guys on, just the concept of a tech company that is actually keeping data secure, because that's something that I'm actually very passionate about. And even though I'm on this podcast today, I'm actually a very private person. So
I've interviewed a lot of people, hon. I apologize for that. It's just how I talk. My one big hope is that as RodeoROI continues to grow, and I believe that you will. You guys seem like you really have your expertise nailed. As you start to meet all of these other companies that are coming to you for their help me, that you simply mention us. That is another part of our value proposition, that we're investing in you. You don't have to. You're under absolutely no obligation. But if you believe in the product, you just mention us. That's it. That's kind of what we're hoping for. Now, Belle, I know we got some more questions, but I know Leslie and Zach, they got to go. We're well over time. Zach, I have a challenge for you, dude. Are you ready for this? Are you still there, or did you leave?
We've got a massive 2 questions remaining.
All right, do the 2 questions, and I'm going to throw down my challenge. You guys are going to make some money on this, all right? So go ahead, Belle.
All right, so G. Torres, do you guys use analytical tools to help you choose keywords? What if other competitors are also using trending words you chose for Sigea because they are trending? What's one way you'll compete to move up in the ranks in that case?
Woo! Good question. We got a smart audience. Didn't I tell you guys this?
We do.
So y'all have a really smart audience. So yes, we do have different platforms that we use in order to do this research. And which not that you guys would have mentioned it, but one of the things that we're going to be doing with Sigea is
you betcha, buddy.
One of the things that we're doing is a monthly check-in call. So that's one thing that's really important. And that's one thing that as we were building out the company, that's actually something that I said that we need to be doing, because I'm passionate about just customer service in general. And because this is a gradual process, we want to make sure that we're moving, like I said, or Zach said, up and to the right. So one thing that's important, and that is a good question, is yes. So as competitors start seeing that they are being outranked by someone, then yeah, they're going to come in and they're going to be more competitive. There are multiple keywords that you can be ranking for. And so those monthly calls, we go in and we see what this uptick is looking like, and we adjust the strategy as needed. So we want to make sure that you're we're getting up to number one, and then we adjust the strategy if need be. So that's how we address it.
Bell.
All right. And Braden, you really need to be back in your hole and coding.
Get to work.
But okay. Okay, so Braden, and I'm gonna say this is addressed to both Leslie and Zach. Does the baby want access to Sigea?
We have a very
That's what we get for working with a 21-year-old.
We have a very interesting audience.
Yes.
Yes, there you go, man. See that I'm going to give you a round of applause because I know you're ready to go. All right, Zach, as long as you're on big screen, brother, and it's just you and me, I'm going to put down a challenge for you. Are you ready for this? I'm going to fund this personally. Are you ready? We are very, very friendly, meaning that we've been with them for a very, very long time, which is a Web3 gaming company. Web3 gaming company. They are bridging the gap between Web3 and Web2 as far as mobile gaming goes. They're coming out with an app. They're doing all of these other things. If I pay you for 3 months, if I sponsor them for 3 months, can you put Dungeon Chain to the top of the fold if anybody happens to search Web3 gaming? Are you capable of doing that? Are you typing it, bro? Do I have your attention? Because I see that you're looking away right now, man.
Let's see what it is. It's called Dungeon Change.
Yeah, it's called Dungeon.
Dungeonchain.io.
Dungeonchain.io. If I pay you for 3 months, can you put them to the top of the fold for anybody that happens to search Web3 gaming? This is incredibly difficult. I don't expect an answer, but I'd like one because we're live and because we don't edit. It's just you. We got dead time here, dude. We don't have come on, man. Give me an answer.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, let's do it.
Okay. You guys hear that? Do you hear that, Sanju? Do you hear that, Lee? Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee. These are two doctors that have founded this. By the way, they're very intelligent people. Let's see what we can do. All right, this is on me, bro. Bell, just shut up. I don't want to hear it right now. I want to end the stream on kind of a high note. Here's what I'd like from you, Zach. I would like your charts up and to the right for anybody who types in Web3 gaming. That Dungeon Chain shows up on the top. Do you believe that you have the ability to do that?
In 3 months' time?
Yeah, I'm giving you 3 months, bro, because that's all the money I got.
I would say that would take us closer to a 6-month project, to be candid.
I don't have 6 months. I'll tell you what, where would we be at 3 months?
In 3 months' time?
Yeah.
There's a chance we could be close to number one. I will not guarantee number one in 3 months' time for that.
How about this? Could you guarantee top 5?
In 3 months' time? I can guarantee first page, I would say. I could almost guarantee first page. With even top 5, like I said, this being what that is, it is competitive, like you said. So I want to play conservative on that one.
Okay. No, and that's a good answer, bro. Look, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I'm not expecting miracles. But we here at Sigea Cloud are all about networking, and we never know what the next big hit will be. But when the next big hit happens, we want to make sure that we are friendly with them before it occurs. This is a personal thing for me. We'll talk tomorrow or the day or Monday next week or Tuesday next week. We're in Vegas. But
we've got to sit down with our account rep and have a meeting anyway, so we can just tag team that and make it work.
Yeah, I'd like to bring you guys on board for that just to see what they could do. It's a personal project for me, just so that you know. And I would love to see what you can do with this, because if you, I'm talking to Bell right now, even though I'm looking at the screen and wish I was talking to Zach. That's the limitations of our production. Guys, we had a wonderful, wonderful time tonight, and I thank you guys, everybody out here, for attending. We're way behind Web3 as a whole. We are way behind taking advantage of services such as those provided by RodeoROI. If you want to onboard, and I've heard this word endlessly every single day in Web3, on board, but I've never heard of people talking about the companies that they're working with, such as RodeoROI. So because you guys know that we like to build, we're very, very transparent here at Sigea Cloud. I'm hoping that our RodeoROI has that same impression, meaning that we will prove that we can do what we said that we can do. And we're looking forward to showing you guys the results of this particular journey. I cannot thank you enough, Zach. Normally, I would say let's close it out, but we're way over your guys' time. I thank you for sticking around. So you guys are going to see what we see, every single bit of it, because we like to build in transparency. We're a privacy project. Of course, we're going to show you virtually everything except our code. You can't see our code. If you want to see our code, build your own. All right, tough. But we believe in leaning into the expertise that exists outside of Web3, and we think that our RodeoROI is exactly one of those companies. So you're going to see our results. You're more than welcome to comment. They don't do social media, which I find hysterical, but they don't do social media. But I promise you, they will see your comments, because I'm going to forward them on to Zach directly and just let him deal. What, Belle?
I'm going to correct that one. They're going to handle our social media, because I don't have the time, nor the patience, nor the inclination to deal with the internet troll that has a very, very specific username on Telegram.
Yeah.
I'm out of patience on that one. I'm tired of people calling our product crap when they don't even understand that, yeah, we're closed source, and we're actually building something, and they keep saying we're not building anything.
I don't know if you could tell. Belle has a real passion about that. Zach, Leslie, please handle this. We'll give you money. Isn't that funny how it works?
Yes.
Anyway, with that, Belle, if you could please talk us up, talk us out. Had a wonderful time. Thank you for everybody who attended tonight. Go ahead and do your thing, Belle.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys. And as always, you guys asked some fantastic questions. Keep those coming. With that being said, Scott and I are going to be back on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and then, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, scott@thepodcast.com or bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.